Let there be light. Hey, this is another edition of The Best Coaching. Sometimes I talk about the student athlete, and sometimes I talk about the coach. And this time I'm going more personal about me, as the coach. So I want to tell you guys a real life thing for me, and a lot of this stuff shapes my behavior, and I think things shape people's behavior. But when I kind of moved here a few years ago, right before the pandemic, I actually was here about 5 months before the pandemic hit, so I never really had an opportunity to get established, get set. Being a pioneer, my grandfather came from the South, moved up to the North to get into the car industry. That shut down, and here it is 40, 50 years later, maybe even 60 years later. I'm moving back down South for work. But coaching is what my destiny, I believe, is. And I do believe that's what God wants for me. I honestly do. I actually think it's more God's vision for me than it is mine, because I couldn't create this on my own. So, been given all the gifts to be successful, so that's what I'm going to do. But when I first moved here, I ended up working for Amazon. And I was working at Amazon, and I was homeless initially. And then I ended up getting my apartment. And when I had the apartment, I didn't have much money. And so, not having a lot of money at the time, I was sometimes hand washing clothes. The washing process was expensive. I couldn't afford to go wash. Even though inside of the apartment unit there was washing machines and a hallway type deal, I really couldn't afford to wash. So I was hand washing some of my stuff, and initially when I started doing it, a lot of the clothes just wasn't drying or drying fast enough to wear it to work. So it ended up having a little wetness, a mildew like smell to it. I was aware of it, but not that aware. And I actually got embarrassed. And I was at work and working on the assembly line with the other people doing Amazon. And supervisor had called me over. And I didn't know what it was for, but I'm always defensive, assuming everything is negative. So I'm always just trying to do a great job, just work as hard as I can, not really deal with people or create any confrontations, or just trying to get things done. So when I got called over, I just immediately thought I was fired for some reason. There's never really, don't ever feel like there's anything good happens. So I thought I was going to be fired. But when they called me over, the lady told me that some of the ladies on the line were complaining about me, and that my clothing or whatever, that I was not smelling good. So I was embarrassed. And even though it was only like a part-time job, I was actually sent home that day, because where I lived at was an hour away. So to go home to take care of it, I didn't have clothes like stashed away in my vehicle or anything like that. So I was embarrassed, and came back to work the next day. I didn't know exactly who said what or whatever, but I was embarrassed, and I kind of vowed to myself, I'll never let anything like this happen again. So I carry a lot of things with me on my shoulders, things that I've been through, and you guys have been through things as well. You can remember things that you go through. I don't know if you've ever been humiliated like I have been, but you still keep your head up and you still remain royalty. And I tried to cut down on the anger aspect because, you know, it hurts your feelings and it makes you want to, you know, react. You want to sort of find out all of these people who, you know, appear to be smiling in your face, and they are, you know, nobody says anything to you in particular, or nobody said anything to me. You know, not that they felt like they should, but they just went right to the supervisor. Now, we're saying, or I'm saying, it's very possible, you know, it would have been cool if somebody could have just said, hey, you know, whatever, maybe I could have tried to see if there was anything I could do in the particular situation. But what I've learned about people, and this is another reason why I behave like I do, and I coach as hard as I do, and I'm going to play call as hard as I know how, because it's me against whatever forces the world is trying to put up that are designed to stop me from being successful. So if I ever get blessed with an opportunity to put a playbook or something in my hands, and I'm responsible for the play calling, Lord have mercy on every defense that I go up against, because I'm going to have offensive sets called Stinky, and Stinky is going to be my reminder of when they used to say that about me at the job that I was working at for Amazon. So I will have a lot of other terms that will be affectionate, emotional things for me. So I will make sure that in my play calling, everything that I do is going to have some super intensity on it. And I'm not really all that friendly, and a lot of that is I have a defensive demeanor, but it's not against, you know, individuals who are polite, kind, because I'll come into a room, I'll speak to people, but I just keep it 1,000 with you. If people don't speak to me, I get an attitude, because I didn't do nothing to you. So there's no reason why you can't have a open mindset about at least speaking to people. So people that don't even speak to you will go to supervisors. People that don't speak to you will go to coaches. People that don't even speak to you will go to, administrators, supervisors or whatnot, to tell on you. And then they'll come back and they'll steady be smiling, because I don't know. I mean, y'all tell me, do people like to see you suffer? I don't know. Do they like the idea of you going through trials and tribulations and not able to solve your own problems temporarily? Do people like that? Is this crabs in a bucket thing for real? Do people really try to pull you back down if you try to make it? Well, anyway, get ready to close off this edition of The Best Coach. I wanted to do something personal, something humiliating for me that you guys can use as reference, either for me or against me, but it's all true. And the chip that's on my shoulder is bigger than Bolivia. It's bigger than a whole continent. So that's the way I'm going to be. I'm stone-faced a lot of times. Sometimes I giggle when I laugh, but most of the time I'm pretty serious. And that is what it is. So take this story and learn something from it. know that everybody is not on your side. They're not cheering for you. And they really don't give a damn about whether you make it or not. Some people don't care if you play football, whether it's teachers, whether it's administrators, whether it's classmates, whether it's family members, whether it's strangers. Most people don't care. And a performance that you can give on the field, most people won't even know about it. It's not going to be known, and you may think people care, but they really don't. So you can play basketball on a team, you can score 45 points, and nobody cares. So you do these things for your own personal satisfaction, your own enjoyment, and that's all you get. So again, this is the Best Coach episode. Thank y'all for listening to me, humiliate myself and show that there is a form of humbleness to me. I don't take anything for granted, and I just advise you to be the same way. Smile at people, show respect and kindness, speak to them, but that's where it stops. All right, love y'all. Much respect.
This shot the shout of Maurice, man, my brother, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.